Hello everybody, I will start my today's another coding practice. So in this video, I will solve this question. Read n characters given read4 to called multiple times. Given a file assumes that you can only read the file using a given method read4. Implement the method read to read n characters. Your method read may be called multiple times. The API, and I'm giving a method read4, and this API reads four consecutive characters from file, then writes those characters into the buffer array buffer4. And buffer4 is actually a parameter. And the return value is the number of actual characters read. Note that read4 has its own file pointer, much like file pointer FP in C language. Okay, so I will give the chars list. Yep, definitely the list. And I will get the integer returned. So buffer4 is the destination. So yeah, characters are overwritten on this list. And count of the characters read would be returned. Okay. Okay, so this is a read4 method. And with this method, I will implement the read method. By using read4 method, implement the method read that reads n characters from files and store it in the buffer array buff. Consider that you cannot manipulate file directory. The return value is the number of actual characters read. I see. So I will implement the a kind of read n method. So I can use read4, and my task is to implement the read n with read4 method. I see. And I will consider that you cannot manipulate file directory. The read function may be called multiple times. Please remember to reset your class variables declared in solution, as static class variables are persisted across multiple test cases. Please see here for more details. I see. You may assume the destination buffer array buff is guaranteed to have enough space for storing n characters. It is guaranteed that in a given test case, the same buffer buff is called by read. In a given test case, the same buffer buff is by read. What does it mean? In a given test case, the same buffer buff is. Sure, it doesn't make sense to me, but anyway, I almost understand the question. So, so does it mean that I have to make sure that I mean I have to remember the buffer index until which I overwrote, and maybe I have to continue from that buffer index, maybe? No, 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 no. No, buffer should be. I have to write from the index 0 of buffer, given buffer, but this buffer element is always the same instance. I don't know what is, but okay. So let me, think of this question with an example. So in this question, I will say be called with read, then buffer, then maybe sometimes like 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or maybe 7, something like this. So let me think of this case. In this case, for read 3, um, I will call read for 1, and I get something like A, B, C, D. Then I will overwrite this by A, B, C, D. Then I will return 4. Yep. No, wait a minute. Read forget these 3 numbers, but I will update it by just ABC. Yeah, actually it doesn't matter if I updated this with D, it's okay. But anyway, I have to return 3 because I'm asked to update with, I mean, read 3 characters. Oh, and in the next method, I try to read 7 characters. So with the remaining D, yeah. So I have to, I mean, I have to call read4 one more time, and then I will get something like EFG. Let me assume that it returns only 3 characters. So in this case, I will override the given buffer array with D and then EFG. Okay, let me make it only 2 characters here. And I will return 3 because I could only 3 characters. Then if I'm called with, say, oh, actually, if this is called with 7, it should have 7 element. And for the first call, maybe the given buffer may be 4 lengths, but at least it should be 3 lengths. And let me think one more call. In this case, I cannot overwrite anything and I will return 0 because I cannot read the file anymore. Okay. So that being said, let me think of the algorithm. So what should I do? So one thing at least I have to do is, because I have to remember the characters across many methods, call method. So in this case, in my example, I have to remember that D was called. So let me keep it in the instance variable. Let me call it chars pool. And also I have to remember next pool index. So from this index, I will read the char character in the chars pool. And obviously if it reaches 4, then I have to read it again. Yep. And also I would define the, error boolean no more in file, or I should say file read ended. So I will make this flag true if read4 method has finished reading all the characters in the from the file. So these are the shared variable I have to use. And for read method, let me think. So all I have to do is take a look at chars pool from the next pool index, current next pool index, and I will keep reading and put it in the buffer. And also I will have to count how many characters I've read. Then if the pool index reaches 4, as I said, I have to read it again. And if the file is, if I run out of the file, I have to, mark the file read ended so that I don't have to call read4 method anymore. Okay, so that being said, obviously what I have to do is buff index. Yeah. So this is the next index where buffer is written over. And also this is equal to the read count in this method. And that being said, I have to read n characters, so I will use it in this way. And while that, what I would do is I will read the next pool index from chars pool. This is the char to be chosen. So I will write in the buffer. But obviously I have to think of some cases. The thing I have to sorry, let me quickly write it. So and also I will increment next buffer index by 1. Yeah, but one thing I have to take care is, as I said, if the next pool index is now 4, I have to read it again. Yeah. So now read count is becomes like this. And also I have to keep this read count in mind because sorry, let me quickly write something here. I will put it here. I will reset next pool index. One thing I have to take care is I have to keep this read count in my mind. Otherwise, maybe the I there are only 2 characters read and overwritten in the chars pool, but I will take a look at index 0, index 1, and index 3 and index 4, which were not overwritten in the last call. So that's where I have to take care. So what should I do? Let me define this in this way. So if I define this like this, max per index, I will put this next dot max per index here. Yeah. Then after this, oh, or I can do it in this. So I will update this self.next file. I mean file read ended. Then if this is true, I will break. Then in the end, I will return next buffer index because it's exactly the number count of chars I've read in this read code. And also I have to take care. I should already return if file read is ended in the beginning of the read method. Yep. Okay, yeah, I think this is it. So in line 35, next buffer index is 0. So which means that, yeah, how many buffer chars I read from the file. So, and in line 38, next pool index is 4 means, I mean, I've run out of the list. Wait, in the case this max pool, read4 returns 4, I cannot know if, you know, file is exhausted or I still have some more chars in the file to be read. So if the read count is until 3, this max pool index is, variable. But if this is 4, it's not determined. But the good thing is I reset the next pool index. If it, in the case if it is 4, I reset it. So I don't say, yeah, file is ended if next pool index is, so it's okay. So in line 43, I will check if the file read is ended. And if so, I finish the loop and I will next buffering. Line 47, I will keep reading. Yeah. Oh, one thing I forgot to do is I also have to increment this next pool index by 1 after reading. Good. So let me walk through my code with some cases. So the first case is if the file has only 3 characters or maybe 2 characters. In this case, let me think. So in lines 41, oh, and let me try to read 3 characters. Yeah. So in this case, So in the first call, in line 44, next buffer index is still 0, which is less than 3. And in line 45, next pull index is now 0. So I go to line 47, and I will read file, and I get ABC in chars pool. So now chars pool becomes ABC. Then in line 49, next pull index is now set to 0. And max pull index is 3. Wait, is this correct? No, I think it should be this -1. And also I have to make sure in line 52, if max pull index is -1, and if max current next pull is 0, it's the end of the file read. The condition I have to check will be like this. Like this. Wait, the good thing is if max pull in, I mean, max pull index is, read 4 returns 4, max pull index becomes 3, but it, next pull index doesn't reach 4, because if it is 4, it's reset. Yeah. So the good thing is, if the read count is 4, I don't say file read ended. I will try one more file read and then decide it. Yep. Okay. So that's it. But one more thing I think I can improve is I'd like to this resetting file read immediately after next pull index reaches 4. So I will move this to, and also this to the end of while loop. Yeah. Okay, good. I think this is a bit more readable. Okay, so let me walk through my code again with this implementation. So next buffer index is 0 now, and file read ended is not true, so I go to line 50. Then I will read the char, and I get chars pool with ABC max. Oh, I actually have to read the file first, otherwise there's no file to be read. Okay, because I did it here. So let me call it first. Yep. And also I have to make sure after reading it, I have to set file ended or not. Otherwise, if the file content is empty, um, I cannot finish reading immediately. Okay, so this is it. Wait, and I think this can come here. No, wait, I think this is good. Wait, if I do this, every time I read the, you know, next to index, it reads the characters. So that's what I have to avoid. My, purpose is that in the really first call of the read call, the chars pool should be already config set with characters. So I will do that call in the initialize method. So I initiate chars pool and I call read4 method and I get max pool index. Also for next pool index, this is 0, okay? And file and it can be defined in this way. Good. Oh, so in this way, actually, for ABC, it already read here. The max pool index is now 2. Then child's pool should be ABC, and file read ended is now still false. Wait, file read ended. Actually, I'm confusing. File read ended. So wait a minute. So file read ended. What I like to know is if I should read more file or not. Yes. But- Okay, so let me define one more variable so that it makes a bit more easy to understand. The file read ended is, I just want to say, if read count is less than 4 or not. If it is less than 4, I don't have to read it anymore. And also I try to know max pool index, which should be read count. So if I read 2 characters, oh, -1. Yep, this is it. Okay, so in this way, in line 43, if file read is ended, I will immediately return 0, which is good. Otherwise, now file read ended, and I actually initiated this one, max pool index. So if file read ended and next pull index is larger than max pull index, it really is the end. Yeah. Otherwise, I will keep reading. And here in line 49, so if I read ended, if no matter if I read ended it or not, if max pull index, I mean, if next pull index exceeds max pull index, I have to read one more, read the file one more. Next pull. Oh, and I have to, um, arise pull index with 0 again. Okay, so after getting this, oh, basically what I'd like to do is the same thing as I did in lines 37 to 40. So I basically read it and update file read ended and maximum index and next pull index. Yeah. Then I will read this file. But there is a case that read count is 0. So in that case, I'd like to finish it. Yeah. Then after that, I will read the char from char's pool. Then I put it in the bar far. Then increment next buffer index, next pool index. And if next pool index is 4, I have to read it again. How should I handle this? So if next pool index is 4, yeah, I can just forget it because if it is 4, it will definitely read another file, make another file read in line 49 again. Yeah, so this is it. Okay, so I execute my code. No. Oh, no, this isn't. Oh, this is correct. So read count is just this. And just this. Okay. So in this case, for 1, first 3, it will be file read count is 3, so max index count is set with 2, next pull index is set with 0. And in line 42, 3. No, I should finish this if next pull. No. This is next pull index. This is okay. File read ended. Max pull index. So for 3, it will read 4. I don't know why, but this is 3. Read count is 3. So file read ended is true, and max pull index is 2. Next pull index is 0. And I call this read method. File read ended is true, and max pull index 3 is not true, and next pull index is 0. Wait, I have to do this array return inside of this loop also. And if I do that, I don't have to do it in the beginning. Yep. So that being said, and I actually don't have to do this here. I just have to reset it. And if the read count is 0, what happens is that max pull index is -1. So no, I have to think of this. If file read ended and max pull index is smaller than next pull index, I have to finish it. Oh, I have to break it here, and I have to return the remaining. Yeah. Okay, so now it's accepted. I never think my explanation was good. I just updated my code again and again, and finally it was accepted. So maybe I will think of the better implementation with thought process right there. But anyway, this question is a kind of interesting but annoying question. So in this question, my task is to implement the read and characters method from the file. And I cannot read from the file directory, but I have to read from the read4 method, which reads up to 4 characters from the file. I can directly, read specific number of characters from the file. So by using this read4 file, I implement the read file. Yep. And in the implementation, I took care if the file read ended or not, and also how many characters there are in the chars pool, and also from which index from in the chars pool I should read next. Yep, that's it. Okay, so that being said, let me finish my today's practice with this. Bye.